Fuck me. We need tongue.
This is the Dude Loft Mountain Podcast with your hosts, Gabe, Tanner, and Tommy.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Dude Loft Mountain. It's your host, Gabe. I'm, as always, joined with
Tanner
and
Tommaso.
Tommy.
You say your name different every time, and I'm
But
never
this
prepared
episode, my name is
for
Tommaso.
it. I'm never ready for it.
But ring me the fettuccine.
Jesus.
I do have to warn everyone, this episode is right after the previous episode you just heard, and we drink on every time that we do a podcast, and we have had a little break and got in some partaking in some things, and so now you have to bear with us because this might be a little rough.
Well, so when we say drink, when it's one episode, it's very passive. 2 episodes, it adds on, and people, are feeling good.
Exactly.
Yeah,
I feel great.
I feel good.
Great.
Yeah. I'm so honored to be here tonight.
Are you? Which I couldn't.
Which actor?
Sometimes I try to think.
Brad Pitt. Yeah. Did
That
you
was
get
Brad Pitt.
No, Brad Pitt. You can always do it. Easy Brad Pitt.
How?
What's in the box?
What's in the box? Oh, that movie's so good, though.
What movie is this?
7.
I've never seen 7.
It's
You never seen 7?
oh boy.
You know what I have seen? What's it called? First rule is we don't talk
Fight
about
Club?
it. Fight Club.
Yeah.
He said first rule, and I was like, "This is gonna be a dumb movie. That's a dumb name for a movie." And I realized
You didn't realize it was Fight Club?
No, I realized it was Fight Club. But he just said one rule, and I was like, "That's a dumb fucking name for a movie." Whatever. What the fuck is he talking
One Rule? Could be a good movie. I don't know.
Because it's an incomplete sentence. One ring to rule them all.
Yeah,
it doesn't
true.
make sense. But
I guess
it does.
Yeah. I just watched the Return of the King in theaters at Alamo.
Yeah, 4K.
They did, well, I don't know if it was 4K, but Peter Jackson newly renewed all of the movies because the 20th anniversary of the first movie's release just happened. So I went to the Alamo yesterday, actually, and watched Return of the King in theaters, and it was amazing.
Nice.
It was so fucking good.
Was it the theatrical cut or the extended?
It was the theatrical cut.
Good, because I'm like, that's like a 4.5 hours.
Yeah, no, and it was, well, which is good because Stephen Colbert did reunion video meeting with a couple people, and so before and after the movie they had interview stuff going on. So if it was the full extended cut, fuck, I would have been there for 6 hours.
It would have been your whole day.
The whole day. But
You
anyway,
said that like it was dirty talk. You're like, fuck, I've been there for 6 hours.
maybe. I mean, no, I wouldn't have stayed. But I grew up watching those movies on DVD, so seeing the theater experience of it for the first time was so dope. And it being newly remastered, it looked great. It sounded great. I was in the comfiest theater chair ever. Oh, it was perfect. It's amazing. Anyways, we were previously talking about your favorite horror movie. Mm-hmm. What about your favorite movie in general?
So I hate being asked this question because my answer is
we do your favorite horror movie.
We just talked about that, Tommy.
Horror.
I think you say
horror movie.
Yeah, horror movie.
Backdoor Sauce 9. Every time.
Probably
I'm sorry.
Becky does the whole team. No, I'm just kidding. That was a joke. I made
Okay.
that up. I don't know if that probably is a porno somewhere.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Most likely.
Maybe.
Tanner, please don't get us all put in jail.
We do more of these after hours episodes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It might happen.
That one time I killed the guy.
Oh no.
Tommy, remember to leave your girlfriends in my basement?
Bring them back.
The amazing insulation in this house.
Yeah, you'll never hear him scream.
Bodies.
Anyway.
Oh, so my favorite movie is The Lion King. I love The Lion King. It is an amazing movie. It has tons of awards and records and different stuff. It is, great. But when people ask me, I'm an adult, and I really would like to have an answer that isn't a cartoon.
A Disney movie?
Yeah.
No, fuck that. Because Atlantis is one of my favorite movies, and it sometimes enters into the realm of being my favorite for a little while.
It is a great movie.
Yeah.
I fucking love that movie.
But
Yeah.
Big Lebowski takes the cake.
Big Lebowski's good, yeah. Well, but the reason I asked that question is because, I previously was talking about Sinister and how it's a movie that, keeps my heart rate going. It's, somewhat grounded in realism. So for a horror movie, it doesn't rely on jump scares, but more or less like directing and lighting and sound effects and the story. That's what keeps you on the edge of your seat, not the jump scares. So like I like that aspect of Sinister, which made me think about my favorite like movie in general. Which I don't know, favorite's a tough word because I like a lot of movies, and this is like up there in the top group of favorites, I would say. But Nocturnal Animals.
I've never seen that.
Neither of you have seen it?
It's Jake Gyllenhaal and Amy Adams or something, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
And it's directed by Tom Ford, and it's just like it's weird because it's a story within a story, but like the second story that's in the main story, it opens with like Jake Gyllenhaal and his family. They're just like driving out to do a road trip or something, and they get ran off the road by a group of hillbillies, and it's just done so well that like it's like very like drawn out, but it's very real, and your heart's just racing the whole time, and like you're just in it. You're in it. Like that's the most immersed I've ever been in a movie, and it's just like terrifyingly dreadful because of how real it is. And it was like that similar feeling that Sinister gave, but it's like not a horror movie. It's just so real and so dramatic and so like possible that this happens. That just like, oh fuck, it's so good.
Some would even say plausible.
Definitely plausible. Yeah, but
And
no,
it's
it's a
called-
good movie. Nocturnal Animals.
Nocturnal Animals.
Yeah.
I think you've talked about this with me before.
Well, like
because you really like Jake Gyllenhaal.
I love Jake Gyllenhaal, and this is probably the first we've ever talked about it on this podcast, at least. Jake Gyllenhaal is one of my favorite actors. But Nocturnal Animals is just like two powerhouse of actors, Jake Gyllenhaal and Amy Adams, mixed with Tom Ford, who's a very creative guy. And who does the score? Abel Karowski or something like that did the score for Nocturnal Animals. And it's just like so many good creative minds came together to make this piece, which is like a story within a story, very unique storytelling, very real, very dramatic. And it's, oh, fuck, it's just so good. It's so good.
So I am curious because you're a very big movie person.
Yeah.
What is your what movie can you remember where you were like, I fucking love movies. Like I love movies enough to be like, I want to know who directed it. I want to know like who was on it,
That's a good question.
so that I
Jaws.
can recognize this.
No, it
Jaws.
wasn't Jaws.
It was for me. It was Jaws.
Really, I've never seen Jaws.
That makes sense. Though.
Jaws made me want to be a director.
Yeah.
Something about just how like so much wrong
Yeah.
went on, like happened on that set, like as far as like shit not working and stuff, and
Yeah.
it wiggled its way into being one of the best like horror movies of the decade,
Yeah.
or of that millennium probably.
Yeah.
But
I would say for me was probably The Matrix. Because like I grew up in a Christian household, and it was like this is the first R-rated movie my family would ever let me watch, because like deep down it was like kind of in certain ways the story of Jesus, and
yeah.
you know it's like very biblically rooted. So my mom was like, "Yeah, you can watch this." And that was the first movie that I ever watched that it was like there's a story and a deeper meaning underneath like the surface layer of the story. Like if you could sit down and think about that movie for hours, and it like that's what caught me. And I started watching things in movies as far as like writing and lighting and cinematography and all of these different aspects. Like there's an expert for every single category that goes into building like one trait of a movie, and it all comes together to make the final product, and it gives you like just like a better end product. Everything comes together for one single message. And if you sit down and you kind of like a good movie will make you think about it after the fact, and you figure out what that message is and how they portrayed it to you. That's what I like. Is it's a movie that has more than what's on the surface level, and it takes you time to figure that out.
yeah, see, and that's why I like the Fast and the Furious so much.
If you
Oh God,
hurt.
I can go order rope right now.
That
like,
hurt.
You just gotta tell me.
This is a 2-story house. We can make it happen.
Ooh, Tanner's throwing out ideas now.
if you could see the face that I gave Tommy right when he said that, I fucking hate those movies.
I'm pretty sure
No, but-
Tanner almost vomited.
I'm pretentious with my movies, so you can make fun of that. That's okay. But yeah, Fast and Furious actually good movies.
No, I like them. I like them for what they are. I think that I don't think every movie has to be intellectually stimulating.
No,
and shit.
no. But that was like when I first realized that movies can be intellectually stimulating.
Yeah.
That's the shit that got me hooked.
Yeah.
Fuck, I forgot what I was going to ask you about your dad movie.
Which one?
The one you were just
Nocturnal Animals?
No,
Or The Matrix?
yeah.
Oh.
Did you like Annihilation? Is that what it's
I
called?
did like Annihilation.
Yeah.
Yeah. I only
'Cause I've thought about that
I only
movie for
watched
a
it
long time.
once.
Same.
But yeah. This is a good movie. It had a good director behind it, good actors, good writing. I think the special effects were pretty top notch.
You know what movie I really fucking love? Mainly because I just watched it for the second time with you both. Fucking Mad Max.
Yeah, no, that was the second time of me watching it too.
I've been listening to the score when I drive and stuff. Oh, fuck, that movie is so fucking good.
Yeah, no,
Like,
I think I
goddamn.
gained an additional appreciation for it after we watched it the second time.
Yeah.
So for context, I recently set up this surround sound system in my second living room. Well, not like second living room. There's like kind of two.
Oh, you posh motherfucker.
I know. I feel like an asshole when I say
Set
that.
it up in the carriage house.
But there's like a living space, and then there's another like living room area that has the TV in it, and it's pre-wired for surround sound. So like I set up the surround sound. Tommy and Gabe both helped me kind of set it up a little bit. And then after it was all done, we sat down and we watched like Dolby Theater movie intros just to hear the surround sound. And then we were all thinking of like good movie scenes that has like good sound, and we started playing those on YouTube. And then I was like, the opening to Mad Max Fury Road is pretty good. And so we put that on through HBO and then sat through the whole 2-hour movie because it's impossible to turn that movie off.
yeah, because it's well, like the whole point of it is it has to hook you in the beginning because that you're just on the same ride basically for the rest of the movie.
Yeah,
It's fucking great.
I was watching it, very impressed with like the sound and everything, and then a little while I was like, I'm so confused and I have a lot of questions. Can I just turn it off? But I can't turn
But
it
you
off
didn't
because I
want
want
to.
to. Yeah, I didn't
Yeah.
want to.
Yeah, I just love that movies like that can still be made and that people can still go and show with their dollar that they love it so that movies like that continue to be made.
Yeah. And I mean, originally I just wanted to show that movie because the opening, it's just like that pan in to Max and his car behind him.
Yeah.
And you hear the ghosts in his head kind of like wrapping around through the theater, or
Yeah.
through the speakers, I mean. And I was like, ooh, I bet that would sound good.
Yeah.
And then the cars that are chasing him jump over your head and you hear that noise
It
go
was
from backwards to
crazy.
forwards. And I was like, yeah, I want to watch that on the new sound system. And then we just didn't turn it off.
No.
Yeah.
I
Because
almost
of the sound of everything. Like they have cars behind the scene. Like
Yeah.
whatever the camera's facing, there's something going on off screen that you can hear, and it
Yeah.
sounds crazy.
It sounds real
I
good.
really enjoyed watching Pirates of the Caribbean for only like the first 10 minutes that we did, because when the swords would clink,
It's a beautiful noise.
but if they were off screen, I kept looking behind me because I kept thinking there was stuff happening in
Yeah.
the kitchen.
we
Oh, this
both.
was here?
Yeah.
Oh, this was without me then. You guys watched Pirates of
Yeah,
the Caribbean?
you went to bed. Yeah.
Did you watch the whole thing or just like
No, we just
Yeah.
watched the
And it was
beginning.
Pirates too, so I was like,
the best one? I feel like we've already talked about this.
I'll fucking talk about it all fucking day for the next 25
We
years of
don't
my
need to
life.
talk about it, but Karina and I did start watching Pirates of the Caribbean. We have to finish the trilogy, and I stand by that. It is a trilogy. Everything after episode 3 can fuck off.
It's fan fiction.
Fan fiction, exactly.
cosplay
But
bitch.
as we finish the rest of them, you definitely should watch it with us. I fucking love those movies.
Yeah, and
Which one are you on?
We either finished 1 or 2. I can't remember.
Oh,
It was a while ago.
yeah, and everyone knows the correct order is 3, 1, 2.
There's no order. You just watch 1, 2, 3 and call it good.
No,
Yes.
the correct ranking.
Oh, 3, 1, 2?
2.
No. If anything, like if you said 3, 2, 1, I would understand that.
Yeah, but see that would be wrong.
But no, it's 2, 3, 1.
mine's
you would put the first one last?
Mm-hmm.
Are you fucking bonkers, dude?
Well, see, I feel like a lot of people have appreciation for the first one because they're like familiar with Disneyland and the ride,
This is true.
which gives an appreciation for it. And like I'd never been to Disneyland by the time I saw the first movie, so I just thought it was like a pirate movie, which was a fun time. And it like scared me. It was like a fun movie. It was funny.
I didn't think about that.
And then by the time I watched the second one, I was familiar with the characters. It was like they included Davy Jones and the sea monsters, and I was like, this shit's dope.
Well, then go
Davy
back in time
Jones.
and fix that, man. I mean,
Davy
Yeah.
Jones is my favorite fucking villain ever. I fucking love the way they did him. I love the way that I can't say his name. I fuck it up.
The guy who acts as Davy Jones? Oh, I don't remember his name either.
It's something.
He's in
Bill Nye.
Bill Nye.
Yeah, he's in
The
Love
science
Actually.
guy?
No, Bill Nye.
Well, he's the guy
Harry
from Resident
Potter.
Evil, or no?
Yes.
Yeah.
No, not Resident Evil.
Um,
Underworld.
Underworld. He's
Yeah,
in
the other
Underworld. He's in Harry Potter.
Who's he in Harry Potter?
He's the Minister of Magic for a little bit that gives Harry the
yep.
gift. He's in Love Actually, which I think is his best.
That was
role.
another movie we put on the surround sound system. The episode 5,
yeah.
the fight between Dumbledore and Voldemort.
Oh yeah.
This sounded
with the sand and the water and all that shit.
We need to rewatch some of that with it calibrated now. You calibrated it.
Yeah. Now that it's actually set up.
Anyway, we should probably move on from this because no one else gives a fuck.
Yeah.
But
my bad.
Mad Max sound system.
Yes.
Banger.
Yeah. That movie was a fucking workout for the sound system. Every time you hear a car, which is constantly throughout the movie, that bass, the sub is kicking into gear. Oh,
And that
so
was
good.
still when you hadn't fine-tuned some of the
No,
stuff yet.
we had just set it up. We
Yeah.
hadn't played with any of the settings or
And now it's calibrated. He's fine-tuned the bass on it. He's gotten the speakers all right. It's like, oh,
I'm
papi. We know the settings
that's
on it
good.
now.
Oh yeah. It doesn't beat a theater experience, but it's pretty fucking good.
I don't know, with the whole home theater, theater, new release movies possibly being on streaming services more.
Yeah,
and more,
HBO's been killing it with that stuff.
that could be very beneficial to have.
Well, yeah, you just talked about Kong versus Godzilla because that just came out.
Mhm.
And you said it had some good sound engineering.
Oh, it's fucking amazing.
Worth watching on the surround sound.
Yeah.
I have a list of new movies that I want to watch in the surround sound system. I just want to watch it one more time just on this. But also the I cannot do this. Multiple I put tally marks in my head whenever you guys are rambling.
Oh.
Not rambling, but
And there's
conversating.
topics that you
and
want
I'm
to
okay,
loop
let me
back to.
I'll talk about this, and I can't keep a good memory.
See, I've tried that, and then I've just realized it's better to just carry on.
Just continue, yeah. But it was about the sound system, and I don't remember what it was.
Was it installing it, or a particular scene that we watched?
I don't know.
Oh well.
You can do it.
I was hoping that you would talk
fucking
about
Davy
installing
Jones.
it because that was a lot of fucking work.
Oh yeah.
Oh
that
yeah,
was-
Tanner. When Tanner says, "I got a little help from Gabe and Tommy," it was us standing there going, "Yep, that looks good to me."
Yeah, it was nice though because my dad was an electrician and I would help him on side jobs all the time. So I fucked with wires, I fucked with installing everything. We've remodeled several houses several times.
And if you're from OSHA listening to this, I'm sorry for your asshole.
But it was kind of nice to remember oh yeah, and then you do this and how to strip wires. I don't know. It was kind of nice. It took a lot longer than we thought.
It did, definitely. Yeah. I know, especially with the house that's pre-wired, you think about what goes into making a surround sound system. It's it'll take 2 hours at most.
Yeah.
No.
It took the entire day.
Yep.
And like I said, it only takes 5 speakers before you're perfected. Because there was one, we installed it and didn't hook up the wires, and that was a bitch.
Yeah. You realize what to do first, second,
Yeah.
third, and then the first time we did it was definitely out of order.
Yeah. But
Yeah, I missed the big day, the real hard work. I was just there for the last
Of
piece.
doing the 4 corner speakers.
Yeah.
But fuck, I'm so glad with how that turned out because those speakers, what are they? JBL Control X is what I think they're called.
Yeah.
And a pair of them goes for $300 or $400, and they did a sale, $99 for a pair. I was like, fuck yeah, I'm gonna do this, take advantage of that discount. And then get this shit put together. And Tommy, you're like, wow, you moved really fast on this.
Yeah.
Timing just happened to be right. It
I don't feel like I'm trying to be sold something.
no, the timing was just
Tommy,
so good.
You
Yeah.
couldn't be more right. The door,
was perfect.
opportunity, it's knocking.
Well, because remember, we looked around, you can see the panels on the roof for where the electrical wiring is, and we could not figure out where it ran.
Yeah.
And it was like, where the fuck are these wires hiding?
yeah,
I know. It didn't make any
Yeah,
sense.
and Tanner would freak out whenever he tried to drill into the wall because he was talking about something being in the wall.
I don't know. New house. I don't want to fuck things up.
No,
Yeah.
no. You know what I'm talking about. What? Give them back.
All the girls.
Give my girls back.
No, they're really good insulation. We'll leave them alone.
Hey. And tonight on Yikes.
It's just a reference to Sicario. I'm not that twisted.
One thing you can do
Don't look at me like that, Tommy.
is I think one day you'll have enough names that Tanner has killed and put in his walls
I
that
hope not.
Jesus Christ.
that you can remix
Okay.
the Mambo
No.
Number 5 song.
Time out. I feel like we need to provide context to why we're calling
If
me
you're an officer of the law, please.
to why we're calling me a murderer and stuffing the bodies in my
Okay.
walls. It's a joke.
Yeah, Tommy used to have when he was a younger man and mentally unwell
I'm just a little
and kicked out of his family. was prone to falling in love.
Don't laugh that hard at that, Gabe.
Falling in love with women at first sight.
The whole situation.
I mean,
was just great.
I mean, shit, because we worked with some fucking amazingly beautiful women.
Which is weird to me.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
But I mean, it was hard. Not every guy in the office was doing it. Every guy. Yeah. I was just a little more vocal to my friends about it. And so it started this thing where every girl I ended up having like a crush on there would eventually like leave.
They just disappear.
They just disappear. And so we started a fucking myth within our friend group that Tanner was stealing them away.
I was Ted Bundying them.
Yeah, and stuffing them in his wall so that he could still have me.
Yeah. So it was because we all met at this job, and Tommy and I.
And for those that want to know what the job is, it was an OBGYN.
And Tommy and I became close. And you know why I think we became closer faster?
Because you're Mexican and I'm black.
No. Because we were both equally like, let's not be this friendly with.
And you just heard a very long beep. Don't worry about it. Anyway, yes. Yes. We had the same attitude about a person there.
Yes.
Um,
and
Our
that made us
producer
pretty
better
close.
be fucking top notch to make that.
Man, I hope so. Where's he at, bro? I can't smell my feet, man.
Tanner was our friend too, but he was like our
Who's Tanner?
right here next to you.
That's me.
I thought that was a Hitler Youth.
But you were like the assistant trainer at the time with us, so we were like,
You could just call me the trainer. It makes me feel better.
okay, that's fine.
You were our young type boy trainer.
So, but we didn't get to hang
Yep.
out with you towards the end every day. But it was just a joke because you had said, "Oh, I like this girl," and I was like, "Oh no!"
Wait,
Tommy."
in the class?
no.
Oh,
it's
okay.
not
we
in
were
class.
we were in that bay next to the class.
Gotcha.
And
Was it a little blonde chick?
No,
Who was your first crush?
Don't name names. I'm going to show you the
I don't
letters.
remember names.
Oh, okay.
Ah,
There you go.
yeah. I got it. Oh,
So-
she was fucking banging,
Dude.
dude.
she
Banging.
she was the first one, and as soon as I was like, "That's so weird." The day that we got announced that we're going to be on her team, she's not here.
Gone.
And
Absolutely gone.
And like even we like found out where she sat and like walked by to see like is her desk cleared? Like what happened to this girl? And she was
I don't
just
remember that, but that's
she was-
kind of sad if we did.
Oh,
she
was
was
the best
on-
thing to look at. In
she
that
was
office.
en route to like
Oh, no, there's another one, too.
No, yeah, there's a couple.
Anyway.
but so we did that and then I remember there was another one and I was like, Tommy, maybe you just shouldn't tell Tanner that you like these women because I think he's killing them. And then it just was funny enough to stay an ongoing
A recurring joke.
Well, yeah,
because
because-
every time you found someone next to
The next victim of my
not,
love.
not obsess over, but kind of focus on, they would leave too.
They just
Very shortly
but,
after.
But okay.
It was a very common occurrence.
But
It
I
happened
would-
more than 4 times.
See, I don't think it was me, man. I think you're deflecting.
I would like to
You think I'm going into a fugue state and just being a serial killer? Oh, shit. No. No, because I know for a fact one of them just moved.
so
Don't
would-
you get my anxiety like that.
I need to clarify. These women were not harassed by us or Tommy.
No, it was me just like,
it was just a
every time I
This was
saw
all
him.
just like in passing talks. Like,
yeah.
Yeah,
And
it was not like,
none of these women were aware of us being alive.
and I didn't treat these women. I didn't like
The
it.
woman.
If I happen to run into these women in
King
conversation,
Julian. That's what you sounded like.
if I happen to run into one of these women in conversation, I still just treated them like a person.
Yeah.
I wasn't like, hi.
no, it was just like the three of us at lunch or break, just kind of shooting shit and making fun of you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because I'm a softboi. Softboi.
he was sim.
God, that's an old joke, guys. Do you know how long we've been friends?
That's like one of our first like
Yeah.
in jokes. Yeah,
Well, I mean, when did you guys come on to Macy's and I helped train you? How long ago? Was
that
that?
was June of
2000
2017, June 12th, 2017.
Almost 4 years.
God, I love that brain of yours.
Yeah,
Yeah. Wow.
autism. I don't have autism.
That's the other one.
Why you look at me?
What? I didn't look
Wait,
at you.
you're the gay one.
Yeah.
Oh, snap! I love the gays. Don't.
Disclaimer: we need to clarify. Tommy does like the.
I live with a gay. I think I've
Oh, it's
I
great.
serve my nickel.
Man, the house stays clean. There's always food.
And these Mexicans, so it's good
Oh,
food.
it's like, yo, yeah. No, I was like, no joke though. Like a week ago, or maybe 2 weeks ago, you had made like 3 home meals in a row for like everyone.
Mm-hmm.
And I looked at my bank account and it like auto budgets like groceries for me. And it was like, you're 90% under budget. I was like, what the fuck? It's the game. Always making these
food.
meals in the crock pot and the oven. I was like, this is nice.
Yeah.
This is good.
I'm.
Can you believe I never utilized that when I lived with them?
It drove me crazy.
Yeah,
oh
why
my
not?
God, it would drive me.
I would have
Besides,
hopped on that shit.
When it was just me and Gabe, I mean, it was just you and Gabe for a little while too, so I guess you're better than me. But when it was just me and Gabe,
But even when
like,
it was just him and I, you didn't cook that much.
No, because we didn't really have a you and me. It was
Yeah.
you and me for a
It was
day.
like I'm still getting used to the house. You're getting used to the house.
Yeah.
We weren't hanging out or anything really.
you also
Just
have to
kinda
remember,
figuring shit out.
Gabe was my first roommate
Yeah. Ever?
ever, and so like I lived with Robert for like a couple days one time.
Am I your first roommate?
No,
Well, I had a roommate when I interned out in Washington, but that was like for 2-3
I don't think
months.
that counts.
So I don't think it counts either. Yeah.
So yeah, I am. So then I am.
Technically, yeah.
I'm everyone's first roommate.
Nice.
All the roommates I've ever had, I'm their first roommate, except for the sisters, but they came out later. It's a story for a different time.
anyway, Gabe was like my first roommate, and then on top of that, I was like, I didn't get on meds until after me and Gabe lived together. So
See.
I was incredibly terrified of seeming like an awful roommate by like, even if he offered me food, I was like, no, like that's your fucking food. Like
Yeah.
you
I just had a lot of leftovers.
like if I used a handful of his cheese, I would go buy a huge bag of cheese and give it to him. I was like, just fucking take it. I was like,
Everything he touched, he was like, I'll replace this. I'll replace this.
it's how I still am with you. I've just gotten comfortable enough with Gabe at this point now.
And he knows that I'm not going to stop doing it.
Makes sense.
And that Spanish rice be fucking popping. And those quesadillas be fucking popping.
Fucking beans.
Beans. Baked. Refried beans.
Yeah. I like to cook. I like to cook a lot. And I have like a kitchen that's big enough to do everything I want to do. Wait until I make tortillas from scratch.
You have from scratch. I was gonna say you have made tortillas.
No, those are quesadillas.
Yeah, I have done those too. Yeah.
I wish I had an acoustic guitar right now.
Why?
It's
Oh Jesus.
You know, I like to cook a lot. And I buy enough. Like it's more difficult for me to just buy for Adam and I than it is for me to just buy something big and then cook
Yeah.
it.
Well, it's like it's almost easier to just like
Yeah.
cook something big than cook something for 2 people.
Yes.
Yeah.
I have to portion things a lot more. It drives me crazy. I just don't like doing it because we always end up with leftovers or not enough.
Yeah.
Like I can't get the right balance for 2 people.
I have a controversial question
Okay.
that is not meant to be controversial. It's just something that my wonderful melted brain has wondered. Have you ever met a gay couple
No.
who
No, I'm just kidding. I'm sorry. That was a joke.
have you ever met both of us just turning and looking at you?
No.
Have you ever met a gay couple that is like 2 dudes? And I don't mean like dudes like guys. I mean like 2 like dudes in attitude. Like guys who like
You mean it's
both
like 2
don't-
bros?
Yeah, like
Or-
guys who like don't want to clean. They just drop their laundry on the ground, leave the
No.
trash filled.
I've never seen that.
No, I
Yeah.
don't think so.
I think it's because all those guys are in the closet.
Oh, 100%.
They're all fucking each other.
Do you
but
know
that's
what we call those people?
What do you call those people?
DL boys.
it. Oh yeah, down
Wait,
low.
what?
Down low boys.
Ah,
They're men who are gay, but not to the public.
interesting.
But they still want to do gay shit. They just don't want to stick around to do any of the gay shit after sex.
Hmm.
So they're just called DL boys. And they're called boys even though they're men, as like a little dab.
Yeah, I feel like if you're gay, you can't call anyone a man.
I'm sorry, fucking what? I think if you take
Uh-oh.
dick, you're allowed to say the word man in reference to yourself.
Are we about to have to cut something from this
That,
podcast?
that comes off terribly. That comes off really bad. But I just feel like every like name there is for like a gay or bisexual dude, like it has to be followed with like not has to be followed with, but boy is more like fitting than man.
Do you tell your friends and family that you live with a boy?
No. He's talking about.
Well, I don't say Gabe is a gay man.
He's
I just say
talking
I live with
about
Gabe and his husband Adam.
titles. Like instead of saying femboy, you say femman.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh.
Exactly.
Okay.
It works better as femboy because
Well, like I feel like
just
man is
depends
never
on-
the pronoun, or pronouns. I guess isn't.
it depends on what the fetish is.
Does it?
Because if it's like a Twinkie fetish, like being a femboy,
That's a boy.
Boy's gonna fit
Yeah,
better because
yeah.
you're like a Twinkie little teenage boy, right?
Yeah, because that makes sense.
Yeah.
That fits the narrative.
But if you're a man, that's where you get shit like bears.
Oh no,
bear
that
man,
makes
yeah.
100%.
Like let's make the Velcro belly. You know?
Yeah, you don't
what
want
I'm
a bear
talking about?
boy. You want
Yeah,
a bear man.
okay.
Yeah.
So that makes sense.
Because a bear boy is called an otter.
Yeah, I did not explain myself.
I want to say
properly.
I'm not 100% gay, but
I am so proud of you. He got all of that right.
and
But
George
yeah.
Washington was a power bottom. Anyway, continue.
I'm sorry. What?
What?
That wasn't in Hamlet. No, not Hamlet. What's the other one? Hamilton.
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 Hamlet.
No, that's what the whole song's about. You know, I got to take my shot.
He doesn't even sing that song.
George Washington?
Yeah.
Is he in Hamlet?
I don't think so.
Hamilton.
Well, I've never seen Hamilton.
Hamilton. You've never seen Hamilton?
I've tried to watch it twice and I can't.
Trice? Did you say
Try-
trice?
I tried to watch it twice and I turned it off both times.
Just remember
You don't
when
like
Gabe at the start of this episode said we were maybe a little bit more intoxicated than previously.
See, this is your reminder.
Yeah. Don't judge us.
You did not fast forward enough.
Watch NASCAR.
Wait, who? I was pulling up home after like buying a bunch of project stuff from Home Depot today, and saw the number 12 with the NASCAR on the back of your car.
That's me, boy.
Who is that?
Ryan Blaney, boy.
You were wearing his shirt earlier today, or his hat, maybe. I saw something you were wearing that said Ryan Blaine on.
Oh,
it.
No,
it's
he
my water
has.
bottle.
It's his water.
It's your water bottle.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
I'm like, no,
It's
no.
the other sticker.
He got a 2-pack of stickers.
So you have the one sticker on your water bottle, the other on the back of your car.
And number 12.
Nice.
So that people are like, oh,
In
who's
my
number
Hyundai
12?
Elantra.
I don't know. For some reason, I assumed it was Dale Earnhardt Jr. because he's the only NASCAR
That's
driver I know
8 or 88.
of.
I don't even. Nothing at all.
Nothing?
And that's, in case you guys are wondering, they're straight.
They're straight?
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And I am not.
Have you watched Ford versus Ferrari?
No.
Have you, Tommy?
No, I want to.
Ooh, good movie. Good fucking movie.
What were we talking about?
No.
Something
idea.
about the gays.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah, you said... Oh, no, we were talking about the man thing. Bear.
Yeah, no. I said boy is more like
we have
associated
our own,
with gays than the word man is.
Yeah. So yeah, because there's what's it called when
I
like
just
okay.
feel like lots of like the manly men in the gay community. I feel like lots of those guys are like halfway in the closet or in the closet in
Yeah.
some way.
Well, like,
you
you
don't
don't
see a
roles.
lot of them in the wild.
No,
Well,
but
because you wouldn't know.
If you think of like gays, you think more or less like the flamboyant, like very girlish, skinny type of gays.
I'd say
right?
that's like the hardcore stereotype. Of a
yeah,
gay.
yeah. No,
I think-
stereotype for sure.
Yeah, I think.
But so like that's the reason why I like this conversation originally came up because like that type of person is more associated with the word boy than man.
That's
Correct.
true.
Yeah.
Which is kind of unfortunate because that like standard of how people perceive gay
Yeah.
ruins a lot of shit for people who are trying to figure out if they are gay.
Well,
That-
so how do you think? I'm sorry. Go ahead, Tommy.
No, I was going to say that's an interesting point because I wonder if they write about like LGBT stuff, which they will in the history books for our generation, in a couple millennia, what they'll be saying. Because I remember reading about like in, I believe it was Roman times, the gay man was the bottom. The man who was the top was not considered gay.
Oh, it was
Homosexual.
just the person receiving.
Yeah, so that's why whenever weird left turn here. Whenever you actually deconstruct the Bible and go back to the original Greek translations and stuff like that, the word homosexual, you know, whatever that word is
Yeah.
translated into and stuff, actually means like the feminine man.
Yeah.
So
Well-
it goes back in time. So yeah, I mean, you know, that makes
Really,
a lot of sense.
because I thought it was the term homosexual came from like so the ancient Greeks used to have like just these massive drinking and smoking parties, and they would kind of have assistants or like younger men follow the richer men.
Yeah.
And in those
Protege
parties,
type-
protege,
Yeah.
everyone would just get like fucked up, drinking and smoking, and like all these very established and older and successful young men would just have sex with like their younger boys.
No, that's the same thing we're talking about.
Yeah, and it was like just totally normal in that time. Homosexuality wasn't even a term; it was just like standard.
Yeah.
But then people
that's what I'm saying, that
ruined
word-
it by having too young of these
Ah.
people.
Yeah, because they were young boys.
Yeah.
But that's what I was saying with the translation thing. Whatever they used to call them, like the feminine boy, like the basically your fuck bag for the night. That is why it's tied to the translation of homosexual, because according to the Bible, that is a sin. Because things like smoking and drinking and partying all night will lead to things like that. It's kind of the overarching tale of that is once you start down this path of sin, that's why like the Sodom and Gomorrah got fucking blasted and shit.
Yeah.
You know, is once you fall down this pit of sin, it just all breaks out.
Yeah.
That's why a lot of really conservative pastors and stuff don't like trans culture and stuff like that, because they see it as a deviancy.
Yeah.
And so they're seeing what they believe to be the creating of the new Sodom and Gomorrah.
Yeah. Which makes sense because like in the Bible, it's all like man and woman are like two halves that come together.
Yeah, and
so
Sodom and
if you
Gomorrah,
like fuck with that, it's
Sodom
weird.
and Gomorrah is literally like we use sodomy as the term for anal sex now.
Yeah.
Like that's how deep and rich the idea of like there was anal sex going on in this town. And it's like, yeesh.
Yeah, it's unfortunate.
But
which causes a lot of disruption in like gays now and how they come out and what levels and
and that's why it's kind of like stigmatized.
and that's why like so we have a need to label things, and then we're also have a need to not be labeled. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So it's a very fragile time because we are all the LGBT are free, but not free and not at the same levels, like depending on tolerance.
Well, yeah, and there's just so many different ways to describe things now and stuff like that. Like I would describe my sexuality as straight until Bailey J calls. But throwback to a very old show.
Yeah.
We don't need to talk about Bailey J.
No,
But
again.
no, but like back to what you're saying
Yeah.
about like the ancient Greeks and Romans, it was like at that time that stuff was just considered normal. Like homosexuality wasn't even a term, and it didn't become a term till the last like 2 centuries or so, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then even when that term was originated, it wasn't like originally negative.
Correct.
It was just like when probably like the religious focus or the political focus on that stuff, I would say, is when it became negative. Because like in the ancient world, it was just common. Like, you know,
Yeah.
the ancient Greeks would just get drunk and high
But
and just like fuck each other.
I specifically remember too, though, it's one of those weird things where history gives fuel to the fire of bullshit.
Yeah.
Because it's on record that like the charismatic movement, which is what most people think of when they think of the evangelical church, you know, the very like hands in the air, praise Jesus, you know, like, you know, screaming in the song, stuff like talking in tongues, that's all the charismatic movement, really took rise in the 40s to 60s. And so that's kind of a relatively recent thing. Like we had Puritans and stuff like that, you know, and everything like that. But that specific brand of evangelicalism is from that era. And so what they would say, because these are the people who are starting the bullshit, right, is they're basically, their job is to negate everything or put a bad meaning to everything to prove a point. And so I specifically remember watching a sermon where a pastor actually said, you know, people always say that homosexuality is okay in Rome and Greek and stuff like that. Where are they now? Where's their empire now? God struck them down, you know, and stuff like that. So it's one of those weird like things where it's like history just fucking happens. Civilizations fall. It's happened since the beginning of fucking time, like or beginning of, you know, our time.
The time that we can, I guess good enough
but
about.
they don't believe in that either. So you know, creationism,
is
which
weird.
to me is like the line. Like you can be whatever religion you want, but if you're a dumbass, just get out.
Man, God, I really wish, and it must kill people who like do this as a job, where I really wish I could just see what happened before the furthest back we have found. So whatever animal or civilization, Egypt, whatever the oldest thing that we found, I really would like to be there to see what was happening. And so it must really kill people who do that as their job, is to find old shit and try to figure out what their life was like.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of what
Do they ever
anthropology
retire?
and stuff. Usually not. They usually become professors and stuff like that, or they become field,
And just, like,
field foremen and
Continue
stuff.
their studies. Yeah.
Yeah,
Forever.
I mean, that's
Until
the weird
day
thing
they
part
die.
about like archaeology and anthropology and stuff like that is that's one of those degrees where it's like it's a passion degree. Like you have to have a passion for that because I love archaeology. I tried to take a couple archaeology classes. I fucking started hating archaeology because I'm like, I don't fucking care how old this dirt is. Like shit like that. And then that's when I realized I'm more into anthropology and stuff like that. But it's that's a weird thing because I think now with software and stuff they do a lot of recreation and stuff like that. But I've always wondered like if time machines were available, like the places people would go if they had like a limited amount. And mine would always be like the first human, or like the before the time in every religion where it talks about the Great Flood. Like kind of pinpoint that time frame and then go there and go to like the capitals of the world at that time, basically.
And see how much ocean you're on top of.
Well, see how much ocean on top of, but see how advanced civilization is.
Yeah.
Because I'm really interested in the idea that there was a great flood that wiped out an advanced human civilization, and
Atlantis.
we came back. Yeah.
What if the Sphinx is a Atlantis statue?
Well, that's like a theory, right? That
yeah.
the ancient Egyptians were like super advanced
I've
and got wiped out by some natural disaster.
Yep, and I talked about that. He's kind of a bullshitter. Not so much a bullshitter. He just I think he genuinely believes in what he's doing, but I think he also refuses to look at some scientific facts of it. But Graham Hancock is an author who has that theory, and like they've done tests on the Sphinx and everything and shown water erosion and stuff like this. Like there was a flood there. There's places in, I believe, like the forest lands of America where there's like valleys and stuff where there's obviously was like fossils and stuff all indicate that there was a great flood that like drained out and stuff like this. So there's a lot of interesting stuff like that. And it's like, you never know, because I think they found a thing that says we go back 12,000 years now. Göbekli Tepe, it's a place in Turkey, I think.
Well, I mean, I don't know about that, but I know as far as like Half-Life research goes, it's like the first human was thousands and thousands of years ago.
We're talking like recorded history humans.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Like we're talking like even like Aztecs and stuff like civilized
Yeah,
humans,
okay.
not
like actual
Neanderthals
some
and
kind
stuff.
of like written record.
Yeah.
Is that what you mean?
Yeah, because most people start at Mesopotamia,
Yeah.
right? That's the cradle of civilization.
Yeah.
But it's interesting to think that like I'd go back to that moment too. Like where was the moment where we were evolved enough to communicate and build the first city,
Yeah.
like and have businesses and goods and stuff like that, like
Economy.
Yeah, like what weird? Because it's kind of like it's a dumb comparison, probably dumb sounding, but it's kind of like Planet of the Apes.
Yeah.
Like they hid human history from the apes, and so it's like once again, what if there was an advanced civilization or a race of people or something that we accidentally wiped out or
Yeah,
something?
no, 100%. And I mean, like, if only it was like if there was previously some sort of advanced race that got wiped out, and there was maybe like a handful of survivors. That
Yeah.
is now the founding fathers of like what we are
Yeah.
now. You know how easily it would have been for them to just like lose any history
Oh, yeah.
prior to
It's
what happened.
It's the same thing I always say when teachers
Yeah.
say,
You have
you're
no
not
idea.
always going to have a calculator on you. And I go, I will. The only reason I won't is if there's an EMP, and then I got bigger fucking problems.
Yeah.
Because I'm getting hit with an EMP.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it's that's what colonization is of different planets. Like there's some people that believe Mesopotamia is that we're aliens, that we're off a different planet that
I
was
didn't know
dying
that.
and we came here.
That's so. This is kind of
That's a little far fetched.
If you think about it, and because I think the theory includes that we basically killed off the race of us.
Yeah.
Like what would like the race that we know is like pre-human and stuff like that. But even that's far fetched because same physiology and stuff.
your calculator thing.
Yeah.
We're not that far apart in age.
No.
But when I was in school, that excuse of you're never gonna have a calculator, all the time,
Yeah.
was valid for a very
Well, yeah,
long
Now we all
time.
got super smart cell phones.
Yeah. And then in high school, like all those teachers had to change all of their like narratives of
Yeah.
this is why. Like,
Well, no,
and a lot of them just went, fuck it, I don't care anymore.
my high school math teacher still said that. He'd be like, you're not always gonna have a calculator on you, and I'm like, dude, I get it. Like, the kids who are getting this need the fundamentals because they're gonna be the ones that save the human race, but I'm fucking not. And
Just
like,
give me a calculator.
like, I don't know why I'm learning this and not stuff that's gonna prepare me for life in the workforce when they're gonna go to college and learn the same shit over again.
So there's a lot of children, younger and younger, who all feel the same way. So I think that before I die, American school systems are definitely going to get fucked with a lot because of how many people are just like, this is bullshit. I've learned the same thing for 12 years.
It all needs to be reformed.
and none of you
And
guys
funded more.
ever taught me how to do, my taxes.
Anything that matters.
Yeah, anything that's going to be helpful.
Yeah, there is a basic knowledge that everyone needs to know, but I think the only core classes you really need after a certain point, like after algebra and stuff like that, I would say continue with English, right? Because stuff like that you're going to need that in life.
Yeah.
You're going to need writing skills and stuff like that. Government, and then have like a tax class or something. Have something for mortgage, like loan rates, mortgage rates, like on the same class and stuff like that. Like you do stuff like that.
how they work, what you can do,
Savings accounts and how you can benefit from having a high yield savings account.
how to go over a contract, these fucking words mean when you're reading a contract.
And I understand that like higher sciences and higher math need to be known, but we straight up had our principal who was subbing for a class tell us, don't worry, unless you're getting into a field like math or aeronautics, you're not going to need this.
Yeah.
You're all going to learn it in college the people who need it.
Yeah.
And it was just like, so I'm struggling here
For no reason.
and then I'm going to get spit out into the world that I am so not prepared for. Because very few people are. Tanner was one of the ones that was smart enough to be semi-prepared for it, at least.
Well, what I think public school, like the goal of it is to teach you how to learn. Because like after I graduated high school and I went to college, I found a job, I figured out how to buy a house. Like it was after high school is like I figured out how to do all those things on my own. I learned about investing, I learned about the house, I learned about higher education, I learned about job seeking, and I figured out all that stuff on my own. And that's all because of public school taught me how to learn for myself and use the resources that are available at my fingertips, Google shit, read shit, and kind of figure out that stuff on my own. The problem is not everybody has the same inclination to do that stuff.
Correct.
No.
And that's where public school goes wrong.
And how much healthier as a population we would be if everyone was more financially healthy.
Yeah.
They'd be more mentally healthy. We wouldn't have nearly the amount of problems we do. Like there's so much education to me is my be all number one. If we put a ton of funding into something, it needs to be that because we're making some stupid fucking people.
Yeah,
and they're doing some stupid fucking shit.
Yeah.
I agree.
I'm fucking one of them.
I think there needs to be more emphasis on the normal things that you were talking about, Gabe, as far as learning how to do your taxes, learning how to budget, financial literacy, how to maintain a household or a car. That shit's super important, and that's not taught to you. So, where was I going with this?
You're going to run for president. This is your announcement.
Tanner, 2024. Yep.
The one who just said, if you're gay, you can't say man.
Oh, God, my political career
It's
is
a
ruined.
short campaign.
Yeah. But no, I think where I was going with that is I kind of figured that shit out on my own. But if maybe public schools kind of ingrained that stuff into the curriculum, then it would be people that are, less inclined to figure out the world for themselves would kind of already know how it works through that instead of just being thrown into it and being fucking good luck.
Which is why I hate homework.
Yeah.
Because you'll never receive homework ever again.
No.
And there's no point in it. I understand you want to know that I know how to do this. But if I tell you I get it, can write it down in class, give it back to you, and you say, yep, you get it, don't give it to me at home. Because then I have less time to
sleep. And
look up shit that I am interested in.
Yeah.
Find out what I want to actually learn.
That's why I loved one of my teachers. He was a fucking dick, but he did this thing where we had 80-minute classes, he would teach for the first, I believe, 50 to 60 minutes. Then he'd hand you a piece of paper. It had like 6 questions on it that you just had to write like a couple sentences for, and then like a multiple choice section. And if you finished it there, you didn't have homework. If you didn't finish it, take it home for homework. Bring it back tomorrow.
That's how my math teacher was.
Yeah.
He would, in the beginning of class, he would go over all the homework. You would pull the homework out, and then you would grade it yourself. He didn't give a shit. He's like, this is how I expected it to be done. Is that what you have? And they're like, well, I tried to do that, or I did do that, but I don't have, like, I didn't understand why you're moving 8 here.
Yeah.
And he's like, okay. And then he'll just go over it again.
And then you're shown how to do it and you figure it out. Yeah. No, like that's
in front
that's
of
so
the
good.
entire class. Everyone understood it. And then he's like, okay, everyone gets that part. Let's move on. This is what I'm going to show you today.
Yeah.
And then he'll show it to you and he'll write each example out over and over and over. He used an overhead. Do you guys know what that is?
Yeah.
Okay. He used that.
We're not that young.
You're not that old.
Okay. But
I said we're not that young. You said he's not that old. Two different perspectives.
But I realized you both live in places where like technology wasn't most advanced.
I mean, I had a
Fair
smart
enough.
board.
Yeah.
We had smart boards in all our classrooms.
I had my Spanish teacher made a homemade smartboard using a Wii. He used like the motion sensor on the Wii,
Yeah.
in partnership with like the Wiimote, and connected that to a plastic marker that didn't actually mark on the board, but like was programmed to hit a button on the Wiimote when it was pressed on the board, and he made his own fucking smartboard.
Jesus.
It was dope.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't know
So-
how he did that.
All just to write down de nada.
So
Wow. De nada.
There's a couple extra syllables in there.
there,
A bear's hitting.
that sentence right
that one good, by the
there
way?
is probably the most American thing I've ever heard in my life. Our education system is so broken, poor, and awful that a teacher
it's
had
so
to
underfunded.
invent
Yeah,
his own smartboard by using other shit that he had.
it was impressive.
Oh, no, definitely. But like, shouldn't you already have that?
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, and it's stuff like going to, like, lots of people call, like, the stereotype is dumb American, right?
Mm-hmm.
And when I was a young boy and living in an awful household, I was like, well, fuck yeah, people. And then I went to Italy, and I saw how, like, I talked with my girlfriend at the time about how educated, like, she was and her friends were and everything like that. And she just kind of told me how their education system works there and how they like pick a high school with a kind of a centered subject that they kind of want to go into, you know, like there's one for science, there's one for English and stuff like that. And it's kind of like, where's your strength? Like, let's put you here. So
dope.
so you can refine these skills and take that into your adult life.
Yeah.
And I heard that and I was like, fuck, America's education system fucking sucks. I was like, holy shit. Like, holy fucking shit. It is a fucking dumpster fire compared to a lot of places in the world.
So the three of us each picked something to kind of work on that, you know, even if they were to work on this, or work on this, these are all solutions that would be a big improvement. I think this is a problem that's broken enough for, if you suggested anything at this point, it would be an improvement.
Yeah.
Whether it be what you said, like how Italy does, or
2-ply toilet paper, 2-ply toilet paper.
4-ply. This is 2021.
With aloe vera.
Yeah. Oh my God.
For my apple buttons. No,
Oh my
fuck
god.
that. Bidets.
I was going to say,
Bidets.
Get tushies in the toilets. You'd have too many weirdos like shoving kids' faces and be like, drink the water fountain shit, bro.
Yeah. Yeah.
God, children are the fucking awful worst fucking little things.
Yeah.
yeah.
Middle school is an awful time.
You don't like kids either, huh, Tanner?
I mean, it
Yeah,
makes you sound like a terrible person. I'm not fond of them.
I think
don't
a lot of
want one
people our
anytime
age
soon.
don't like kids.
I mean, like, kids are cool. Like, I'll be an uncle and like play around with the kid for a little bit. You know, throw them around, be a little rough. It's fun.
Give them black eye or two.
Yeah, it's fine. But like at my point in life, and probably for the next 3 or 4 years, like I don't really want a kid.
Yeah, I used to really want a kid for a very long time. Then other people's kids ruined it
Yeah, because
because they won't stop having them and they won't stop being stupid. So
yeah, it's
I'm out of patience. I don't have any So I don't want to torture my children with no patience.
I just think about how great my life is right now. Like, I wake up in the morning, I work for 8 hours from home, and while I listen to podcasts and music, and I even play video games during the day and stuff like that.
While working?
Yeah.
Nice.
And then I get off of work, and I can do whatever the fuck I want.
Whenever.
I can stay up as fucking late as I want. I can smoke as much cigar smoke as I want.
Yeah, it's legal here. You can say the real word.
I'm scared. And I can drink as much beer as I want. Like, I can, like there's a freedom that I feel like a lot of people, and there's some people who haven't. I have some friends who had a kid, and they are like totally like, these people needed to have a kid. Like, they were going to be the best parents. Like, that's what they're in it for, and I'm glad that's their goal. But there are other people who it's just like, there's a freedom that they get that it's like, I ain't gonna fuck this up for a while.
I know. Well, I assume both of you want families at some point, right?
My thing has always been, if I theoretically, because it's never gonna happen, meet a girl,
Yeah.
and we want to get married. If she wants to have a family, let's do it.
Yeah.
If she's like, I'm like, I am not in any rush.
Yeah.
Like, if you want someday, we can probably make it happen.
Yeah.
But if you don't want one right now, we don't have to fucking do this shit.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I feel like I'm the same way. I'm not in any rush, but like with the right person and in the right relationship, oh, it would be so great.
And in the right dumpster.
It would be really good. But then also at the same time, I feel like I'm kind of pressured into having kids at some point because I'm the last
Male
of
steward.
my last name. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I feel like the rest of the family is kind of like expecting it of me to have like a son at some point. And then I could be like my uncle who had 3 daughters in a row.
And then gave up. Please tell
And
me.
give up. Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Smart
And
man.
give up. And
Smart
then,
man.
and then, you know, there's no more Tanners, you know, in the world.
Okay. Totally valid.
But you're the
But-
last Tanner.
I know.
It's like,
I'm
it's
like Tom Cruise.
Jack Sparrow.
But you could, with the way
Is
that
that a
time,
Last Samurai joke?
Yes, it was the
God
last samurai
damn
joke.
it.
Thank you.
I was like, Mission Impossible.
I know you're like, well, Tom Cruise.
the way that time is going in progression of like what is the new norm, one of the girls could keep her name, and that's not plausible. Like, that's not impossible.
Wait, what do you mean? Like a girl I marry keep her name?
No.
What?
One of the female,
Like the
stewards, one of the female stewards. I'm assuming there's more than just.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, no, they're all married. That's not happening.
Oh fuck.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, no, it's set in stone. I'm the last
The last
male.
one.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
I would still say don't let that pressure you too much.
I mean, it's easy to say that, but
When you got all those eyeballs looking at you.
and I don't even like there's not even like eyeballs on me per
No?
se. It's just I think it's just like for myself it's a mental thing.
I
Like
got-
I fucking want to be, you know, like a Game of Thrones line that rules the world one day, and it's not going to happen unless I have another son.
Yeah. In my
Not another son, but a son.
yeah.
Yeah, that's the wrong word.
In my experience, most sons
I had a baby
deviate hard from their father's legacy.
Oh,
type
that's
thing.
even worse.
That's what I'm saying.
I got my shit together. If he goes the opposite direction, I'm gonna be so disappointed in that bastard. Damn.
which is a very big possibility. But so, because Annalie doesn't plan on ever giving up her name, she will probably never give up her name.
Interesting.
And is
What's the
100%
reasoning
okay.
behind that?
It was our dad's.
Oh, she's like what? Had a good relationship with her dad?
Oh yeah,
Oh, nice.
yeah. She loves that man. Of course, it's the ground he walks on. And we accept for the flaws that he has had, and we're fine with it. But like, we very like even my last name is not his, and I'm most likely going to change it and use that one.
Question I've thought about for a while is gay guys.
Mhm.
Who gets whose last name? How does that work?
It's a discussion. Usually, stereotypically, okay. So you know how hetero people have roles, like there's a role that you would fulfill as a husband and the wife would fulfill. Some gay people stick to those rules.
Huh.
Adam and Steve, they call it.
That is not. I mean,
Look
maybe
into it.
some of them,
Look into it.
but there are others that are like, nope, Everyone just does what they want, and it's
and they
a
just
discussion.
keep their last names, or
They
is that,
could,
that
or
happens?
they discuss like, hey, my family's pretty shitty. I come from nothing. Like,
You don't want this name.
yeah, let's just go with yours, or like yours sounds better.
Yeah.
Like, there's a bunch of different reasons, but like in my situation, it's most likely going to be my dad's, and that person's got to have a cool fucking name and come from like a lineage of amazingness for me to be like, okay, I'll give it up. In my case, but yeah, no, that's how it's just a discussion that happens.
Sam Smith.
Okay.
Yeah,
Sam Smith.
What about him?
Sam Smith. Would you change your name for Sam Smith?
Gabriel Smith. No,
Really?
Actually,
No.
hold on.
Even if he serenades you to sleep every night, you wouldn't take that last name.
You might not get as many tickets too.
Like driving tickets? Is that what you mean?
Yeah,
because
because the cop's it's gonna be like using a Pokemon power on a cop. He's gonna look down and be like, "Looks brown, but his last name is Smith." You go free, sir.
Jeez.
I love our police force. I just want to say that. But some of you are dicks because you have little dicks, just like me.
Jesus.
Oh God.
But yeah, no, I probably wouldn't give it up too easily. Do you ever think about? Well, I guess you don't have to think about that.
No, I don't have to think about it. It's pretty standard. I get to keep my last name.
If I'm paying the money to change my last name, like I plan on doing, you better fucking take it.
Yeah.
And it's a kick-ass last name. Like, who doesn't want to start? If we do have a family, who doesn't want to start a name line?
Yeah, that's what. So
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
mine wouldn't be that way, but it kind of would because I would be the first person with that last name who, like, my forever house, the ideas, the things that we are creating that are going to come true, or I'm going to kill people.
That was the
That-
last thing that was said before Gabriel exploded.
That happening, like that whole land and everything that we want is going to be nice. Is going to be given to like the next generation, and I most likely am not going to have children. But my nieces and nephews, I'm assuming, will eventually have their own kids, and I'm going to pick a favorite, and whoever's the favorite gets all of my money and attention and land.
You wouldn't make it equal?
No, because if they sell it, I'll fucking freak out. I will rise from the dead and haunt all of them. If they sell my dream house.
On a scale of 1 to 15, how bad do you think the regret score would be if I got a tattoo that said, I am La Chancla?
69.
4.
Oh, no, I'm not La Chancla. I'm a Bursa de Blanco.
So it's.
Bursa de Blanco.
I was
What does that
correct.
mean?
I was corrected today.
White something?
It is.
What is it?
Basura de Blanca.
Basura de Blanco, so I'm female.
White bathroom?
No, white trash.
Oh, white trash. Nice.
Because we were talking about, I was like realizing to Gabe, like all this stuff that my family used to do, and I was like, that's some white trash bullshit right there. Like, holy shit, I thought I was like not white trash growing up, but I was fucking white.
Him and
Fucking
Adam had a
trash.
white
Sounds
trash.
like it.
A white trash off.
Like, I remember going and stealing.
sounds fun.
I remember going and stealing milk crates. Like, that's some white trash bullshit.
Yeah, that's rough.
I don't even remember what we used them for.
Did you live in a house or like a
No, we lived
mobile
in
home?
houses.
Oh,
No,
okay.
we lived in houses.
The only way you could get more
A
white
ranch.
trash is
We
if
were
you lived in a
like
mobile home.
white trash with money.
Yeah.
But then because we were white trash, we'd lose all the money, so we'd have to get it all back, and then we'd lose it all again.
That's a terrible situation.
Yeah,
Just constant.
life
It's
was a
rough
roller
cycle.
coaster.
Yeah.
That's just today, spam and eggs. Tomorrow, prime rib.
I mean,
nice.
I honestly, material wise, had a pretty good upbringing, but it was all rewards for the beatings. Not the beatings.
Ooh.
Not the beatings. That was a dark joke. Dark joke.
And on next episode, we'll talk about abuse.
No.
No. I was just saying that
don't need
because
to
the
do
cycle
that.
of abuse is you get like the negative action happens,
Yeah.
and then they reward, like they give you a reward for like sorry,
Yeah.
and then you try
and
to
then
trust,
you get,
and then
you
that,
fall into that cycle.
one that invalidates anything you have to say about that situation, because how can you say that? Look at what you've got.
Yeah.
Like, how can you say that this is a horrible person?
Yeah.
Look what they
So
give
that
you.
bad thing ends in a reward and you get used to it.
Yeah.
I've given several rampages of speeches at when I used to bartend and serve, and people were like, "If you hate this job so much, why do you just quit? Like, just quit."
Money.
And I'm like, because this job is like an abusive relationship. I hate it. It beats me. It makes me cry. It hurts me inside. And then it gives me a little bit of money and I get real happy and I'm going to come back tomorrow.
Yeah.
Every job ever.
I'm like, it fucks with me because people yell at me. I've gotten spit at. I've gotten like people get real angry. And because you try to kick out a bunch of people on Thanksgiving because they're drinking and sad. I'm like, okay, but we closed, so go home.
You fuck my wife, poo boy.
Yeah, exactly. And they throw shit and it's fucking ridiculous. But anyway, on that note, thank you very much for coming to the Loft Mountain.
Oh, this accent's terrible.
Dodaf Mountain is the home to the master race.
Gosh.
That's what it sounds like you're going to.
I know. If we ever want to expand outside of the U.S., no audience base is going to want this.
Oh, probably not. I hope that we're so
Poland.
many episodes in, they never find it.
Poland, we apologize.
Sorry.
Nazis are dicks. We all know that. I kind of wish it was legal to punch a Nazi. Can you imagine how fun that would be if you saw some of those fat white idiots in Nazi gear out protesting? You just
I mean, I don't think anyone would really get mad at you.
no, but then they could sue me.
Yeah.
I wish it was legal,
Yeah.
which is totally
Just don't get
fascist.
caught,
It's totally fascist of me, but
Yeah.
saying I fucking hate Nazis.
With smartphones,
I mean, just
everyone's going to
make sure nothing's being recorded. Just a quick little swipe right in the face, and then walk away. No one will ever catch it.
I fucking hate Nazis. Anyway, thank you for coming to Loft Mountain. The boys say bye.
Bye.
Bye.